Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Hello, dear students. We have our writing lesson. I hope that you are prepared. Now, we started with our writing lesson the last time. We discussed about something very important to us. So in our writing class, we started talking about future changes. Now we moved on from these future changes to the question, how do you think the world will have changed by the year 2050? So just imagine and just think about the different changes that may have happened till that year. So after that, what did we take? We were asked to think about cities, crops, manufacturing, vehicles, and trade homes, and other buildings measures to protect people from environmental factors, such as the possible radiation from nuclear power stations, pollution, and so on. And we are actually asked to just think about the projects that may be productive, and of course they are for the benefit of us, and of course we are led to the Saudi vision of 2030. So when we think about the different projects that we have in 2030, we can think of different parts, and there are actually many projects. They are not just in one field, but many fields. So you can choose whatever you want. Now we pass by the questions here. Now, as I mentioned, that there are many fields, like what we have here: education, we have the society, the economy, technology, culture, and the infrastructure, and there may be also something else. So when we are just brainstorming or thinking about the different projects, we also read the text and compared the ideas that we thought about in our minds with the plans that we have in the text and we listened to. Now, if you recall, on page 41, we answered the question, what are the three themes around which the vision is being built? As you can see that we have them here highlighted. We also had the second question, which is about some of the important elements of these themes, and we also had these themes highlighted. We have also the pillars. Of course, we have prosperity, sophisticated heritage, and consolidate true Islamic and Arab values. We highlighted the most important parts that we have here in our passage, just to put in mind what do we have to focus on and what are the things that we can relate to. Now also we were asked in our lesson to look for the passive and the active structures in the passage, and why did they use the passive and why did they use the active, which we answered in our last lesson. So we can see that we one time focus on the projects or the actions or the results that we have, and of course we also have the active because we are concerned with the people of Saudi Arabia and what they have progressed. Now we're going to move on with our writing lesson. This is going to be the new part, which is our turn to write about the different projects and what is the field that we are interested in. So you can see that we have here the objectives. We have actually passed by in the first part the first part of the objectives, and we're going to just focus on the second part. We are going to choose the Saudi development and prepare to write about it, clarifying its impact. We are going to organize ideas to write a new essay. We are going to also outline the basic parts of the essay and write a complete essay together, inshallah. So be ready. We're going to write. Now, when you write a personal essay which expresses your views, now just to remind you that in Unit 2, we wrote a descriptive essay. We described. But this time we are going to write a personal essay. Now, when I say that a personal essay here, from the word personal, it's something that is concerned with me as a person, my ideas, my point of views. So this is something important to put in mind from the very start. I did ask you to prepare a topic or think about the projects that interest you the most, so you can just apply them in your essay. So we're going to just go on. We have here the first part. Number 1, to choose one development in the text which will have been completed by 2030. So you can choose something from the text, or you can maybe have something else in mind here, but you do have to have something related to the vision 2030, and just think about the different points in it. Now, for example, I chose to talk about green nature. Now, green nature here is something that I am very interested in, so that's why here it is also something that is related to the 2030, and I chose a title. I'm going to call it a green vision. Now, it is very important from the very start to just prepare a title, because you are going to present your idea. You're going to present what interests you the most. So we have here a green vision is going to be my topic. Just think about your title now. Then I'm going to think about here what I'm going to write. You have the instruction in the book. Think about the impact this development will have on both your personal life and on society. Write your ideas in the organizer. So if you recall, this was something that we mentioned at the end of our last lesson here. You are going to think about the project's impact on you personally and on the society in general. So did you do that? Did you think about a project and the impact that it has on you? Now we have here the organizer. We said that we are going to use this organizer. We're going to write different points. We have the development that will have taken place by 2030. Just write some points. We have the impact on my life and the impact on society. So I'm going to show you what I did. Now, as I chose the idea of green nature, I have written my points here. Now we're going to just pass by together in the writing corner and see what we have. So we're going to start one by one. Now, number 1, make notes before you start writing to plan what you want to say. So before I use the table that I have in the book, I'm going to just make notes and write the words that are connected to what I want to write about or what I want to say. So here, for example, you can see that I have written different words. So there are no complete sentences, just points, just words of the ideas that I have in mind. Now you can see that I have, for example, the word nature. I have also the other word, plants. So since I'm talking about the green vision that I have in mind, I have the first words to start with. Now you can see also that there are other words. I just complete and add, for example, relief. We have stress, calming, energy, refresh. Now, this is something important to put, that you are just thinking about the words that are related to your project or the topic. So you're not dividing, you're not writing complete sentences, you're just writing down the words that come in mind when you think about the project that has an impact on you. Completing, we have here motivation. Also, of course, the Vision 2030. We have screen or we have here symbol. We have Saudi Arabia, green. And we have tranquility, kind, help, and caring. So these are different words that we have here. Now, after I have written the words or the points that I have, and you can see that I just wrote them, now I can put them or divide them based on the table that I have. You can see that I have the same table, but this time I used my words, and we have here, yes, the different words that I chose. The development that will have taken place by 2030, I wrote projects in Riyadh, planting green areas. And then in the impact on my life, I have the word of motivation, optimistic, energetic, relief, and stress. And the impact on society, I have many words. We have here green, symbol, grow, kind, help, care, calming, health, and beautiful. So they are the same words that I have written before. Now sometimes you can add words while you are just filling in the table, and you can just take other words out. Number 3. Now I have written my notes, and then I use the table to write my notes. The third part here is going to be writing an essay and presenting your ideas and giving some examples. So now you are organized, you have your thoughts in words in front of you, you divided them into 3 parts. So I'm now going to focus on putting these words or using the words in content. I'm going to start writing my essay. Now something very important here is to write before type. Now you are going to just use a pen and paper. You're going to just write out your points here. So here you can focus more on what you are planning to write here. You can see that I have a complete draft of what I have written, and then I can correct. Now in the book, in the writing corner, they mention organize your thoughts into paragraphs. For example, describe the change in the introduction. Use the main body to talk about the impact on you and the impact on society. So we are going to start our essay and start dividing the essay into the main ideas that I have in mind. Now include a conclusion to sum up your views or opinions, and note that it is very important to not include any new information in the conclusion. So just to remind you that in the conclusion, it's just like a sum up. We are closing our essay, so you do not add any new information in it. Moving on. Now we are going to focus on the content. Now what is the content? The content is our essay, the whole essay. You are going to just divide it into different paragraphs. Now note that you have the introduction, you have the conclusion, and you have the middle, which is the basic content. What are you going to write in it? Of course, you're going to use the notes or the words that we have in the table. So I have my table here, and you can see that I have the words. Now what am I going to do? I have my page, the paper. We are going to just write, first of all, an introduction, and then we are going to write the body. It can be 2 paragraphs or more than 2 paragraphs. It depends on your ideas and what you want to write. So after we have the introduction, you can write the body, and we have here also, you can add 2 paragraphs in which we write the impact on ourselves and also the society. At the very end, we have the conclusion. That is going to be the close-up, and we have here, of course, the summary of all we said, but remember that you do not add any new information. So I have divided my essay into the introduction. I divided into 1, 2, 3 paragraphs. One is going to be the basic idea or the body, the introduction of what I'm talking about, and then the 2 paragraphs about the impact on myself and the impact on the society. And at the very end, we closed with the conclusion. Now, remember to be creative, but focused on the topic. You do not have to be objective. Now, this is something important to put in mind. So when we think about a green area, it is an extensive view with grass, trees, and plants. Now this is something that is objective. It's not something that I can relate or can be personal in it. We have here address your audience directly, and we have also use I narration as I think or I feel. So as they mentioned that you don't have to be objective, but it is very important to be personal because you are writing a personal essay here. You are going to just express by using I think or I feel as you move on with your essay. Now, for example, I feel that living in a green environment refreshes by relieving stress and energizing me. That is something I would like to do for people as well. Now this is a part of the essay that I have written here. You can see that I have expressed using I and I expressed using me here to relate to myself, since I'm talking or writing a personal essay here. Include examples, personal anecdotes and thoughts, interpretations or ideas. Now, for example, I'm really interested in the project concerning planting and making Riyadh a greener city. After all, green is the color of our flag and the symbol of nature. So you can see that there is the personal touch here. At the very end, try to get your point across as clearly as possible and do not repeat yourself. Now, you are writing a personal essay here, so it is very important to watch out to what you are writing and not repeat what you are concerned about. At the very end, you can see that I have a complete essay here. Now, the essay, we have the checklist for evaluation, just as usual, to check for spelling, for the grammar, for the ideas to be complete, and of course, we have here the punctuation. Now, after I have checked it, we have the best essay that I can present to my classmates or other people to read. So, at the very end, you can see that I have my complete essay. I'm going to see if I have my complete ideas. So, just to check it very clearly, you can see that we have here the title, A Green Vision. We have here 1, 2, 3, and 4 paragraphs. Now, the first one is the introduction. You can see that the conclusion is short. We're just closing up. And we have here the 2 paragraphs which are related to my point of view and the impact on me, and the other paragraph which is the impact on the society. So we can say that the 2 middle paragraphs are the body of my essay. Now, just to read together, we have here A Green Vision. I am proud to write about a powerful topic, which is the Saudi Vision 2030. There are a lot of developments that will have taken place by 2030. We see changes every day around us, and hopefully I can join the working teams and contribute in such important developments, especially the ones in Riyadh, which is where I live. I'm really interested in the project concerning planting and making Riyadh a greener city. After all, green is the color of our flag and the symbol of nature. So you can see in the first paragraph, which is the introduction, I talked mainly about the projects of 2030 and what I am interested in without details, but I did use the personal effect with using I as the general pronoun here and to present what I am thinking about. Moving on to the second paragraph, we have here personally. So here I'm starting to write about the impact on myself. Personally, I feel that living in a green environment refreshes by relieving stress and re-energizing me. That is something I would like to do for people as well. Everyone should live in a calm and caring society. Moving on to the third part, we have here, when we think about a green area, it is an extensive view with grass, trees, and plants, a view that boosts energy in a whole society. So here I'm talking about the impact on society, which is the third part in the table presented in the book. Now, also note that I am using vocabulary that I have learned throughout the units. You can see, for example, that I use the word extensive, and you can use other words as well. So completing, you can understand that if you think of a plant coming out of soil, a new leaf or a branch growing from a dry tree, so green is associated with growth, new beginnings, and optimism. Good health is an important issue, which is always connected with a good environment. Now, closing, as we mentioned, we have the very short conclusion. We can say, to serve our country and be better people living in one society, we need to feel nature around us to live in peace and tranquility. And you can see that there is no new information parts here. We're just closing up the whole idea that we have. So we have completed the essay, the personal essay here. Our outline of the day was to discuss achievements, highlight developments, choose one development, organize writing steps, and start writing the essay. And at the very end, you can see that we have the complete essay. I did my homework, and it's time for yours to be done. So do your best, and we'll go back to it in our next lesson, inshallah.